Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a Printillion show. As promised, I am back, and we're going to be covering oh my gosh, please just appreciate Droplet kind of being a stalker in the background here. Don't worry, I will let her back in after this video is done, but she's super noisy and she walks around, so I didn't want her interrupting our tutorial that we're going to do today. We're going to go through the Wiro calendar templates and also just how to set it up for design. There's a vital flaw that we see in quite a few designs for the Wiro. This is for the desk calendar, the Wiro Desk Calendar. Not going to make the same mistake as Wednesday and call it a desk pad calendar. It is, in fact, a different product. All right, so I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and we're just going to do a quick setup. It's a nice and early live video today before it gets too hot and everyone wants to switch off for Friday and enjoy their Halloween. So, or just your weekend if you don't celebrate that. I just want to do a quick reminder before we launch into the actual setup of the design. Guys, please subscribe to our newsletter. We send out mostly an email like once a week at most. This is our founder that writes these. There's a lot of promotions in there, a lot of tutorials, useful links, and stuff like that, and also important updates if you're using Printulu. So please check that out. Okay, cool. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's jump into the, let me just share my screen. Hold on. There we go. Great. Okay, cool. So let's jump into this. I just want to change the layout here so you guys can see full screen. There we go. Okay, cool. So basically, as always, I recommend Adobe Illustrator. It is an awesome program, and it is basically a vector-based, so everything you create in Illustrator is vector-based, so it doesn't pixelate no matter how much you scale it up or down. So I always recommend Illustrator if you're designing for print. This is actually ideal because I can show you from the beginning how to set up your stuff. All my stuff at the moment is actually set for designing for online, so it's important to make sure that the settings are different. So let's go for this format here, orientation. So firstly, if you order on the website, you'll see that there are different options for the amount of pages. This is up to you, obviously. This is a calendar, so you usually have a page per month, but it is up to you. Please do check the options we have and design according to that. So let's just do one today to set up, but as I mentioned, you will change the amount of artboards here or the amount of pages depending on your design. Always make sure there is a 3mm or 0.3 centimeter bleed. Always make sure you're designing in CMYK for print and that the raster effects is set to 300 ppi. That is basically the quality, and it makes sure that it doesn't pixelate in the end result. 72 is for screen, so that is why I've set it now to 300 because we're designing for print today. Okay, let's go ahead and create that. There we go. Okay, so obviously the sizing as well, if we check here width and height, you set this depending on which size you're actually ordering. Please make sure that you're designing everything exactly according to your order and that it's aligned. Okay, so the first thing I do is set up my safety margins, and this is the issue we see the most, is that you need to remember that this has Wiro binding at the top. So in other words, if you have important information where the Wiro binding is going to go, you're going to have logos and stuff like that that gets cut into with the Wiro binding. It looks super unprofessional. No one wants that. These Wiro calendars aren't exactly super inexpensive either, so you want to be making sure that you're spending your money on something that you're going to be happy with at the end of the day. So let's quickly do that. For all of the sides, besides the one where the Wiro binding is going, I always recommend a safety margin of about 3mm, or again 0.3 centimeters, the same width as the bleed. I just set up a little block for myself so that I know that's the width. I think you guys have seen me do this in different tutorials before. If you haven't seen them, please do go check that out. They're all available on our Facebook page. So I just brought up the ruler there. It's Command R or Control R if you're working on a PC. I'm working on a Mac, so it's a little different. Okay, I'm gonna set that up there for now. Cool. And then we can go ahead and put it over here as well. Okay, so I have mentioned this in previous tutorials as well. These blue guides that you have over here, if you drag from the ruler in Illustrator, these don't print, so you can leave them on. It's not an issue, and it's a good way to kind of see where you're designing and making sure you're staying in the margins. A lot of times we see that people tend to put their text, for example, like right to the edge. That is really not ideal because you're going to have it like cut off potentially. We obviously can't always cut exactly on the same space with every single page. So that's what these margins are for, to make sure that even if there is a little bit of misalignment, even if it's just a half of a millimeter or a millimeter, that the design still looks cohesive and represents your brand as it should. So please don't, make sure that your text does not go past this safety margin. That's basically what that is for. And at the top, we always recommend 10 millimeters, so that's 1 centimeter. So that's where the wire is going to go in. If you make sure that that you don't have any super important text in this area, then you should be sorted. Images, anything like that, background colors, make sure it bleeds off into the bleed. This red area is the bleed on all sides for the same reason that I explained with the trimming. And also, if you want to preview the file without the guides, you just select Command or Control colon or semicolon. It's a semicolon, Judy. There we go. And that's basically, then you can go ahead, keep the background images and colors bleeding off into the bleed, but any important logos, information, you want to make sure sticks within these guides. So that is basically what I wanted to show you guys today. Then you go ahead and save the pages out. As usual, you can save an open file first, and then you can go ahead and save a PDF version of the same file. I'm not going to save it today because obviously this isn't a design I'm actually working on. I just wanted to show you as well, these are the templates that we have available. If you struggle to set up your own file, if you want to work and you want to make sure that everything's correct, please feel free to download from the website. On the product page, there is an option to download templates, or ask us for the specific size if you're not sure. We will send you the correct size according to what you've ordered. This is basically what you'll get. This is what they look like. So we've already included the safety area for you. So that's quite useful. And I mean, you can really feel free to go crazy with the design. This is something I designed as a quick mock-up. So, you know, really have fun with it. Make sure that you're double checking your dates, double checking your public holidays. Have fun with it. Make sure you include your contact details, especially if you're giving this away to clients or prospects or other business owners as a kind of a marketing thing. That's usually what these are quite useful for. Make sure you have your contact details and or at the very least your website available so people can find you and your brand. Yeah, and it's always nice to include a space here for people to write on or write notes on. If you do that though, make sure you don't use lamination. Lamination you can't write on, so just some small specs and things to keep in mind. But yeah, that's basically what I wanted to show you guys today. I hope that's useful. If you guys have any questions, please pop them in the comments down below. And if you have any suggestions for me about what to kind of cover going forward, let me know. I'm still getting back into practice. I feel like I haven't done these videos in years, even though it's only been a couple of weeks. So I really hope, yeah, we can get back into it, and let me know, yeah, if you guys want to see anything else. I'll keep going into a bit of more calendars and stuff because that is the season now going forward. And just a quick reminder, guys, please subscribe to our newsletter. The newsletter is completely free to subscribe to. It's a very cool way to kind of stay up to date with our latest promotions, our latest pricing updates, stuff like that. So please make use of that. We don't spam on that. We don't use your information for anything else. So please do go do that. The link is in the comments down below and on screen. All right, cool. That's it from me today, guys. I hope you have a fantastic Friday and a great weekend. And if you're going to celebrate Halloween, enjoy it, dress up, and yeah, I'll see you guys again next week.